on your morning news at 7:30 on Spectrum News.
Greensboro will be hosting the U.S. Figure Skating Championships for the third time. Coming up on Spectrum News, we hear from an Olympic silver medalist what this means to the skating community here in the Triad.
Caitlin Miller on ice skates this morning. We'll look forward to that live report. And as 2019 begins to wrap up, the 2020 census gets closer. We'll tell you why the city of Greensboro says it needs everyone to take part. The Guilford County Health Department is involved in an investigation into lung illness. We'll take a look at how the investigation is being conducted and how it relates to our nation's vaping problem. A demand for action 1 month since the shooting of a 9-year-old in Durham. Activists rallied today in the aftermath of his death and the violence the city's seen this year. Good morning. It's now 7:31 on this Wednesday, September 18th. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Julie Frendak in for Justin Quisenberry.
And I'm meteorologist Ariella Scalise.
September 18th. I can't believe it. We were just saying that this month has just flown by. I feel like we say it every month.
We do. It's crazy. The first couple of days are usually off to a slow start, especially the start of September as things are really heating up in the tropics. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, we're closer to the end of the month, than we were at the beginning.
I know.
That's
and before we know it, I feel like this time of year, that's how it works. But before we know it, it's
like that back to school thing, but we're not even in school anymore. So what's our excuse?
We don't have one.
Okay.
No valid excuse, at least.
Right. But October's a fun month.
October is fun.
I
love October.
Lots
especially
to look
here.
To. Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, for sure. My sister's having a baby. Gosh, any day. She's due in October.
Congratulations.
I've mentioned it every couple of weeks. So just a lot to look forward to and nicer weather. Ooh, and we do have a slice of nice out there this morning. Sometimes,
I love that.
Yes, but Justin always gets it wrong. So be careful if you're going to use it because I have very strict guidelines. Well, he'll try to point out when it is, and I'm like, no, that's not it. You know how specific I can be when it comes to all things weather. But beautiful out there. It took this little halo around the Greensboro skyline this morning. It really paints the picture of what today is going to be as some nicer weather is continuing to move in. So temperatures right now, 66 in Greensboro, 62 in Liberty, 68 in Winston-Salem, 63 in Yanceyville, and 64 right now in North Wilkesboro. And that dry air is moving in pretty much by the minute here, and we're going to have a really nice afternoon on the way as clouds continue to decrease and that cool northeast breeze moves in. A high today of only 77, but then 4 degrees cooler tomorrow if I can do math. 73 for a high, cooler and drier, very pleasant with that high pressure in control. That northeast wind continues. Tonight's going to be a bit cool. We're down to the 50s overnight. So a pretty nice start out the door tomorrow. We'll have more on the 3-day forecast that's coming up here at 7:41. Julie.
Okay, thanks, Ariella. 7:33 right now, live in Greensboro. The Gate City is hosting the 2020 U.S. Figure Skating Championships at the Greensboro Coliseum in January, but there's already a lot of excitement around that tournament. Spectrum News reporter Caitlin Miller joins us live from the Greensboro Ice House. So, Caitlin, why are people so excited about this event and getting ready so far in advance?
Good morning, Julie. This is the third time that Greensboro will be hosting the U.S. Figure Skating Championships, and people are so excited because America's best skaters will be coming into town. And speaking of America's best, I'm now joined by U.S. Olympic silver medalist Paul Wiley. So, Paul, you're actually chairman this year, is that right?
I am the honorary chair. I actually don't have any official things except for fun,
Yes.
And I want to tell everybody that Friday, they can start buying individual tickets at 10 a.m. So at 9:59, get on your computers and order those tickets because the best skaters in America will be here, right?
That's awesome. And what do you, as honorary chair, what do you hope to see out of next year's competition?
Well, there's just amazing competitors, first off. You have Nathan Chen, who's a sophomore at Yale, but he did a 6-quad program and won the world championship. So he's the reigning world champion coming here to compete, but also, Alyssa Liu, who's this 14-year-old girl who did a quad Lutz for the first time. We have amazing pairs, amazing dancers. It's about the emotion and the music and the performances. And the last time that we came here, it was amazing how Greensboro got behind the skaters and they felt very comfortable. But there were standing ovations and a lot of emotion. It's a great date night, great for families to go to as well.
And you've had quite some success at this event. You placed second 3 times. So what do you think contributed to that success?
Well, You know what, I think it's hard work at the end of the day. You have a lot of technique to work on, you have the performance to work on, and to try to get something out there that the audience loves to watch, and picking good music and all of that helps a lot as well.
And this venue is kind of unique. The Coliseum is one of the only places across the country that actually has the practice rink in the same area as the competition
Right, and
rink.
there's a fan zone, so the fans can come watch practice, and they can interact with the skaters. It's really an ideal environment right there, at the Coliseum complex.
And that's awesome. Well, Paul, before I let you go, shall we show them a little trick?
We're going to have our Romeo and Juliet moment. You ready? Okay,
yes.
Here we
Let's do
go.
our
And the
spread
big
eagle.
spread eagle. Oh, yes.
I almost fall.
Where do I begin?
That's why my mom told me to play hockey. Oh my God. Well, if you want to come out to the U.S. Figure Skating Championships next year, it will be from January 20th to the 26th, and tickets actually go on sale this Friday, so don't miss it. Julie, back to you in the studio.
Caitlin, a very valiant effort out there. You can see that he's a little bit more seasoned than you, but I love the effort. Thank you so much for that live report.
Yes.
High Point University is launching its 10-year plan packed with $1 billion worth of investments into the school. HPU President Dr. Nito Cobain says the university plans to invest $700 million on student scholarships, primarily geared toward making the student body more diverse. An additional $300 million will go toward academic facilities and programs. 3 new academics programs were already added: hospitality, event planning, and nursing. Dr. Cobain says more future programs are already under consideration.
That means for us, we have to think 10 years out, but we really have to think 25 years out. Everything we're doing here is intended to create programs and facilities that can stand the test of time.
A major partnership with Coca-Cola is also in the works. The company will provide money for HPU and employment opportunities for students and graduates. The Guilford County Health Department is participating in a multi-state lung illness investigation. This comes as a number of vaping-related issues continue to grow across the country. So far, nearly 400 cases of lung illnesses tied to e-cigs have been reported, along with 7 deaths. 30 of those cases were here in North Carolina, none of those deaths, though. Patients in this investigation have had the following symptoms: coughing, shortness of breath, or chest pain, as well as nausea, vomiting, or diarrhea, and fatigue, fever, or weight loss. Health officials really are urging people to stop vaping as they try to get to the bottom of the issue. The city of Greensboro wants to show off its growth. It's asking citizens to take part in the 2020 census. Every 10 years, people take the census to determine how much federal and state funding the city can receive. If there are miscounts or underrepresentation, departments like housing could have to cut back on programs.
It's important to make sure that we get the amount of state and federal funding that we are entitled to based on our population and our types of population. So that's critical. That amounts to investment into the city.
The census kicks off April 1st. New this morning, the Durham community will come together today to call for an end to gun violence. Today marks the 1-month anniversary since a 9-year-old boy who was going out for snow cones was shot. Spectrum News reporter Chris Williams joins us from the corner of Duke and Leon Streets where the shooting happened. Chris, good morning.
Police are still looking for the gunman who shot and killed 9-year-old Zion Person. Here is what's left of his memorial. You can see the candles, the flowers, balloons, and the poster boards. Now, his death prompted a massive call in the city for an end to gun violence. Tonight, community advocates will gather on Hoover Road. The group A Chance to Change will host the event. Members are calling this the Standing in the Way of Violence rally. Last month, someone opened fire on a car full of kids going to get snow cones. A bullet hit Zion Person and he later died. Another bullet hit his 8-year-old cousin, but he survived. Police haven't determined a motive for the shooting. Now the anti-violence rally will begin at 7 p.m. on Hoover Road. In Durham, Chris Williams, Spectrum News.
Thanks, Chris. 7:40 right now. We're back in the Weather Center with Ariella Scalise to talk a little bit about hurricanes, actually, and how to further protect yourself. It has been obviously a hot topic this month.
Yeah, and it's peak hurricane season, and every time around this year, you know, everyone's certainly always on standby for what could come.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially here in North Carolina, people are used to it, especially on our coast. You can take a video or look at the video that's actually a virtual look at ways you can protect yourself from those storms.
The Insurance Institute for Business and Home Safety hosted a demonstration at its research center in Richburg, South Carolina on Tuesday, and its goal is to show the impact of a strong roof and how that can stay up during a storm.
And the IBHS says a fortified roof means better built wood, and sealed edges as well.
Researchers say if you want to make the changes, they are minor for a roofing contractor to do, and your home may be worth more money with a fortified roof, and you may save on insurance.
And so it is obviously, like you said, peak hurricane season. A lot of the coastal communities are used to that, even here in the middle of the state. The mountains, not so much, though. They kind of have their eyes on that gorgeous fall weather.
Right, this time of year, that's the peak for the mountains. There is the fall foliage.
Yeah, and a lot of people from here in the Triad travel up. They take the Blue Ridge Parkway up there, take a look at the leaves, but it might be a little bit of a change this year.
The mountain counties are seeing warmer temperatures and a lack of rain, and that could affect this year's peak leaf season.
And one Appalachian State University professor we spoke to who studies those leaves actually says the drought has caused some leaves to fall off the trees already.
He says those that still have the leaves are expected to turn this year, but he believes the peak will be delayed due to those warmer temperatures.
And it is going to be those cooler temperatures that are going to cause those leaves to change a bit. He says a drop in 10 degrees and a little bit of rain would help them as well.
Right, looking forward to seeing that. I've already seen some trees a little bit orange. I don't know if the leaves are just dead that I've been seeing, but certainly signs that fall just around the corner.
Yeah, definitely. And I know fall is on the mind of a lot of people, like we've said, and October means Halloween time, of course. So for all of our fanatics out there, take a look at this makeup situation going on your screen right here. The frights start early this year. Woods of Terror is actually going to kick off its 28th season this week.
They brought in a few new attractions this year, including a professionally designed three-dimensional
attraction out there. Yeah, whatever that means. We'll look forward to getting a look at that. They're also promising to make all these people you see on your screen here, all these ghosts and ghouls and scary folks, look even scarier than usual. But they do recommend no one under the age of 13 does enter the Woods of Terror. They actually recommend just teens and adults out there. But Ariella, we'll kick it to you for weather.
Right, totally understandable with the age limit there, I guess above a certain age, because I did see that man walk by that had a teddy bear on his head, and the teddy bear was a little bit bloody, so even me, I do get scared easily though. But something to look forward to. I know a lot of folks can't wait for Halloween, 44 days, and just 5 days until fall does officially begin. Such a quick time of year here. It's Halloween, it's Thanksgiving, it's Christmas, and then we're into the new year. So take a moment and just kind of soak it all in and enjoy. 46 days until we do fall back. That's when we get those earlier sunrises and earlier sunsets, making for shorter days here, less daylight. We're looking live into Wake Forest, into Winston-Salem. Now I got distracted because I'm looking at the sign at Wake Forest University. We're in Winston-Salem though this morning. 68 is the current temperature there. I blame the two W's. 66 in Greensboro, 66 in Asheboro, 65 right now in Mount Airy, and 64 in North Wilkesboro. That drier air is filtering in here as we go throughout the rest of the afternoon. You're gonna feel certainly a difference outside. 72 by 12, 76 at 3, 77 at 6. That's gonna be our high for the day. Increasing sunshine until the sun does set around 7:30 or so tonight. It will be a little bit breezy today. Occasional winds sustained about 10 miles per hour or so. Could gust up to about 20 miles per hour. So breezier than just kind of your normal day, but certainly not a big issue when it comes to wind. Turning much cooler tonight. Temperatures dropping into the low to mid 50s for most of us. So probably a light sweater or a sweatshirt out the door tomorrow morning, and highs only in the low 70s. So most of the day kind of spent in the 60s, and then we reach those highs in the afternoon, say around 3 or 4 o'clock. And then even cooler Thursday night, so out the door Friday morning, definitely a bit chilly for some, and then a quick warm up by the time we get to Friday afternoon, 77, and then we're back to 83 on Saturday as we march into that last summer weekend. It's kind of bittersweet, but I am certainly ready for cooler temperatures, and we get those for the next couple of days. Julie?